All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Still in that 48-hour period after a win. Might have to extend this one out, maybe 72 hours. I don't know. It was a pretty big win, so I'm not against it, but regardless, we are all still feeling pretty good. And for me personally, I haven't even really started thinking about this Super Bowl all that much yet. Obviously, I'm aware that it's going to happen and I'm hoping that things go well, but I'm still thinking about this team this season that really wasn't supposed to be this good. Like, I don't think very many people, even Seahawks fans, thought this season was going to be this good. All right. So, while we're commiserating over this great season that we've had so far, let's continue on with our weekly series, Youth Watch Tuesday. We've got another one to do. And I know that it hits a little different in the postseason, but it still hits. So let's do it. All right, everybody, before we go any further into the video, I want to take a minute to tell you guys about a wonderful app called Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat about sports in real time with other users. You can get all kinds of scores, sports news, and sports alerts with blazing fast speed. And of course, you can play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. So enjoy sports with other people in a community. Download the Sleeper app today and remember to use the promo code SBN, that is SBN, for up to $100 match on your first deposit. And they also have a free $20 entry right now, no deposit required. So pair those two up. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. Check out the Sleeper app and have fun with sports this year. All right, so we're going to start with the running backs because, again, Jalen Milroe did not play. Nothing to report for Milroe. Ken Walker, I don't think I need to go over the exact numbers, but he had a great game. Not necessarily on the ground, but what he did as a receiver was huge. Not just the fact that he had almost 50 yards receiving, but when he got those yards, very impactful in this game. He picked up a big first down on that game or that clock chewing drive at the very end. He caught some passes early in the game on the early scoring drives, and he's having a great postseason. I know New England has a nice little run defense. I know that their defense in general is quite good, but there's a real good chance that Walker ends up with a 400 yards over 3 postseason games this year. And I mean, we already know he's going to get paid, but what happens in a couple weeks could get him paid. 90.3 PFF grade over 2 postseason games, 4 touchdowns. Awesome, awesome stuff from running back 1. Halani did get the ball a few times in that Rams game, a couple of carries, and also caught some passes. So 31 yards for him. And I thought he did an okay job blocking. He was valuable on third down. He was valuable on passing down, 64.2. Totally down with that from a guy who wasn't even playing football for the last couple of months. So George Halani, definitely down with it. We got to get one more game out of him, and he might be part of the plan in 2026. I don't know. Well, it's 20, you know what I mean, the 2026 season. Maybe he'll end up being a featured part of the offense in 2026. I don't know. But I like what he brings. I like what he brings. I know it wasn't an amazing game, but he did what he needed to do. And overall, I think that he was helping this team win more than he was holding them back from winning. And that's all I can ask for from a guy like Halani. JSN, I don't think there's anything to think here though. He was definitely I would say probably our best player in that game. Well, no, Darnold, but other than Darnold, and Darnold's kind of a given because he's the quarterback, right? But JSN, other than Darnold, as good as it gets, played an incredible game. Some of the insane catches he made catches down the field. He made short catches. He got yak, everything you could want. Touchdown, over 150 yards, 10 catches, monster day. And even though he didn't really do anything in that first postseason game, you can see the stage is set for him to have a really nice postseason. And we're going to be making beautiful things happen with JSN for a while, it looks like. So all I can say at this point is I hope he spends his whole career with the Seahawks because special player, 91.1 PFF grade. Jake Bobo catching the touchdown, playing good, effective football. Um, I got to give him some credit here because I and most other Seahawks fans kind of left Bobo by the wayside during the regular season because he wasn't even getting on the field. He wasn't doing anything. And now in the postseason, suddenly he's making big play after big play. And I don't know where it came from, but it's timely. And it's been nice because obviously Horton's out. Arroyo hasn't been activated yet. So we need somebody in that tertiary area of the roster to step up and make catches. And Bobo's been the guy. Barner, 2 catches, 13 yards. I know he had a fumble, and that killed his PFF grade, but I didn't. I mean, the fumble, again, he's literally out of bounds when he fumbles. There's no universe where that is actually going to be a turnover, so I don't even care. I thought he did a good job blocking, and even Pro Football Focus agreed with that. So, not a huge game for Barner or anything like that, but he played fine, played effectively, and I continue to be a big fan of what he's bringing to this team in his second year. Okay, offensive line was a little bit more rough this week. The grades are good, right? Like Charles Cross was graded very well in run blocking and overall, but he did give up 3 pressures. I'm not tripping on pressures. I mean, Pro Football Focus pressures are relatively low impact as long as they don't result in quarterback hits, but it was more than last week. Gray Zabel had a penalty and allowed a few pressures as well. Graded pretty well, but a little bit leakier than last week for sure. Sundell, very leaky this week. I think it was 4 pressures, including a quarterback hit. Maybe it was 3 pressures, including a quarterback hit and a penalty. Graded mediocrely. Still doing his job, but nothing to get terribly excited about. Anthony Bradford, very leaky, had a penalty, allowed 5 pressures, I think. Terrible grades, 44 overall now in the postseason. Just when we think we're getting into a place of comfort with Bradford, he does this. And I mean, we're running out of time, right? We got 1 game left. Even if he plays well in the Super Bowl, and he may play well in the Super Bowl, I'm not ruling it out, but even if he does, how are we going to go into this offseason and feel anything other than uneasy about the fact that we may not be able to replace Bradford and we may have to roll with him in year 4? I continue to get frustrated because he's so physically talented, but he cannot get to a place of workable consistency. What he did last night, I don't think it was as bad as the PFF grade paints the picture, but it was bad. And it's just very annoying that a guy this physically talented can't get out of his own way. Oluwatimi did not play last night, so that finishes up the offense. Let's go to the defense now. Byron Murphy, very active day. 5 tackles for him. The run defense was definitely not great. Over 5 yards a carry allowed to that Rams team. I wouldn't necessarily say that Murphy did anything wrong. I do think that he is a little undersized against that Rams interior line, and it just is what it is. Against most teams, it's fine, but against that particular team, it's trouble. I still don't think he played badly. He did generate a little bit of pressure as well, but it wasn't it wasn't a standout game for him, but I still think he's doing his thing. I think he's doing his job, and sometimes it's just not going to come out all that well when you're playing a bad matchup. Morris did not play defensively at all on Sunday, so nothing there. Tyrese Knight, though, he played a pretty decent amount. 4 tackles in that game. I'm not sure if all of them were on defense, but very active in the limited snaps he got. He made 1 big tackle near inside the 10 and kind of set up the entire winning sequence there. 81.6 PFF grade. That obviously combines some of the work he did at the end of the Niners game as well, but I think he played great, and I think that his contributions were invaluable for this team getting the win, even though he didn't play that much. Drake Thomas, he did, I think, what was it? 6 tackles, but PFF hated his game, thought he missed a ton of tackles. Just not really a good Drake Thomas day, and then he got hurt. Hopefully he'll be okay for the Super Bowl, but a day to forget for Drake Thomas, if we're being honest. Still not down on him or anything like that, but it was a tough day at the office. And the Rams give a lot of linebackers tough days at the office, so realistically, I'm not going to judge him too harshly. Not much to say about the young edge rushers on this team. They each had a tackle. They each were graded below average. below replacement level even. Hall had a couple of soft pressures. Mafe had nothing. They didn't even play that much. Just not enough, man. Just not enough going on here. And as someone who was a big Boye Mafe fan all the way back to before he was drafted, I'm really disappointed if this is where things cap out. And it looks like it is. Like, he's an older player at this point. He's a veteran at this point, and he's got no juice. Derek Hall, I'm a little bit more optimistic about Hall. I think that he actually played a little better during the regular season. I like where his run defense is, but we're not seeing any juice so far in the postseason. We're seeing some soft pressure, but he's not even coming close to finishing the job right now. So this is definitely an area of disappointment. We got to get through one more game, and then we got to rethink the way we're doing this edge rusher thing in the offseason. Cornerback, Reek Woolen, very, very mixed game, right? The penalties are awful. He got beat a couple times in coverage. He also made some plays on the ball, had a couple of pass breakups. I think he had a couple of tackles. Witherspoon obviously got beat quite a bit. He gave up like 130-something yards in this game. 6 tackles, in part because he got beat a lot and he had to make tackles after giving up big plays. But he makes the 2 biggest pass breakups of the season in the end zone to get the ball back to the Seahawks offense and eventually get the win. And Pro Football Focus didn't even punish him that much. So he's still having a good postseason. He's still doing great stuff. Still one of the best corners in the league. But there were definitely tough moments in that game. And some days you're just going to be the bug, I guess. But definitely not the Witherspoon that I've come accustomed to expecting this season. All right, safety, because Pritchett, by the way, did not play defensively in that game, so there's nothing to report there. But safety, pretty darn solid, especially Nick. But I thought Kobe played a good game as well. He picked up a few tackles. He had good grades overall. He didn't get beat in coverage in any noticeable way. I think they gave the touchdown to Kyron Williams to him in coverage. But realistically, I don't think you can put that on Kobe Bryant. He kind of got picked off by Puka. There's nothing he can do. So realistically, I don't even think that completion should count against Kobe Bryant. So I think he played a solid game. It wasn't over the top flashy, but he did his thing. And if this upcoming Super Bowl is the last game we ever play with Kobe Bryant, then I'll remember him well. He wasn't ever a hyper elite player, but I think he did his job this last year and a half at safety. And remember, he started out as a nickel corner. So cool stuff. And of course, Eman Wari, our best defensive player in that game, 5 tackles, 3 pass breakups, including 2 on back-to-back plays that got the ball back to the offense right before the end of the half. And we don't win this game without Eman Wari. I really do believe that. He had so many great plays in this game, even beyond that. It's crazy that we're here right now, man. He's not even 22 yet. He turns 22 the day before the Super Bowl, I think. 78 PFF grade. Coverage was clean. I think he missed 1 tackle the whole game. Just really phenomenal stuff. Very special player. And this was a pick. This was a selection that could have gone one way or the other. I'm so happy it's going the right way, because there was no guarantee of Eman Wari finding success in the NFL ever, much less immediately. And he's just already turned into like a young, admittedly not as good yet, but looks like he's going to get there, Kyle Hamilton. Okay, that's going to do it for Youth Watch Tuesday. Really good, guys. We rode young players to this Super Bowl. Guys like Ken Walker, guys like JSN, guys up and down the offensive line, Byron Murphy. You even got to give a little bit of shout out to a guy like Tyrese Knight, right? Witherspoon, Eman Wari. It is a team that runs on veterans, but it also runs on these young guys. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming soon. That is your Youth Watch Tuesday.